Hello, all you little freaks, and welcome back to another episode of the Devil's Cut Podcast, our haunted house where we show our undying love for all things spooky, scary, and spine-tingling. I'm your resident host, a man-boy possessed by a devil, Matt Young, and here with me, as always, the skeleton everyone should want in their closet,
Eric Rossi.
How are we doing, Eric? It is a somber day for me, because it is the end of our wet-hot adventure across the globe.
That'll be it.
The official end. You know,
Pull up the fucking ladders, get your towels off the fucking chairs. We're cleaning the pool deck and we're draining that motherfucker.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's we've been winding down for a bit now, but it's sad to see it go. I think it was a very successful themed summer.
It'll be hard to follow up.
Not to say that the Amityville summer wasn't a wild ride.
You know, I haven't looked at the Amityville numbers in a while. I'm interested to see if they have moved even an inch. I'd be interested to see if we even caught one person going back to listen to those.
Well, you know what? I think we'll never know because those numbers are tainted because we have a lost episode. So we'll never know. That last one could have tied it all together.
And it really was a fucking banger. We were hooting.
It could have brought us top of the charts. You never know, you know. So who's to say which summer was better? Well, and then next summer, who knows what's going on? We'll see.
But it was a good one. It's been a good summer for the show. It's been a good summer for the stream. I think it was nice and cohesive.
Yeah, I tried to organize it as best I could to get us, you know, on theme as much as possible, especially for the show because there was also just so many movies that came out this summer. It was like a little tough to balance like new movies that didn't necessarily hit the theme, but
those were the hot ones. They were hot off the press.
Hot off the press, and then we did the wet ones. The wet ones were fun. Yeah, what was your favorite like wet movie? For me, Deep Rising.
Yeah, I think
so
Deep Rising was
dude.
so fun.
It's so fun. I think about it all the time.
Deep Rising was a blast.
You know, we did the Deep. We did our Scary Water episode was fun. The Sharks episode. We did a lot of cool stuff.
The Sharks episode was, I think, more fun to prepare for
than anything.
Than Deep Rising, but Deep Rising was really fun to watch.
So fun. Yeah, though listeners, we're here. This is our sort of like, you know, wind down episode. We wanted it, transitionary. We're getting into fall now. We're going full scary mode, full Halloween. But we wanted to like sort of end the summer on like a little fun note. So I've always been planning on doing like a sort of game show style ep. And I finally like got around to like working on one, and so that's what we're gonna play a little game today. I called this this segment. We're gonna call this is
Satanic Panic,
a horror trivia game show.
Cue applause.
Yes, this is completely organized by Matt, but also completely ripped off from other shows. Segments that I've taken, you know, the trivia segments in this episode, I've taken from like different shows, like Dead Meat always does a lot of fun game episodes. I watched a couple horror themed episodes of Actually to try and get some like just ideas in general. So a lot of blatant rip-offs going on. I'm not gonna say I came up with these like game show ideas all by myself, but you know, honestly, they didn't probably either. So no. You know.
I'm excited to compete in these games against myself. I'm
against yourself.
I'm a little bit intimidated because every once in a while, my brain is firing on all cylinders, and it's usually at the least opportune times. So I'm afraid to just hit an absolute roadblock of
Yeah, see, my brain has that problem too. It's called I was diagnosed as mostly dumb. What the doctor said, mostly dumb. But you know what? It's okay.
Sir, if you look at this pie chart, it seems like he's mostly dumb.
Yeah, I'm willing. I've got some leeway built in. You know, I can give you like you're free to ask. We'll go over the rules like when we like start and all. But I'm lenient. We'll give you some hints and stuff. And also, you have producer Spooky Wife on hand that you can phone a friend to. So don't be too intimidated. You know?
I had my caffeine. I had
you got the brain juice going.
A little protein bowl. So
creatine, your muscles strong to.
I'm trying to prepare myself.
Carry that head. So we've got a series of like different, like I got a couple different categories for the trivia. You are going to be getting points. Okay. So you're going to be racking up points.
I love points.
Yes. So, I think we have 50 points available.
Oh boy. Okay.
To gather. So if you answer every question without like any help and you just are spot on, if your energy drink has dialed you in and you get all the points, there are prizes on the line here.
There's prizes.
Yes, I have a Temu cart that has got items ready to go. So if you get at least half of the points,
okay.
So that if you get 25 points, you will be receiving the first tier prize.
Okay.
And then if you can get, I said it 35 points. If you get 35 points, you'll get the second prize. And if you manage, I don't think you're going to get a perfect score. If you get a perfect score, I'm going to have to find something really funny to get you.
Okay.
But
oh, I'm thrilled. I didn't know there was going to be prizes.
There are prizes. I wanted to put stakes in for you so you were really motivated.
Well, now I'm really glad I prepared.
But yeah, I mean, before we get started,
do you have a favorite game show host?
Do I have a favorite game show host?
A particular game show host where you're like, wow, that motherfucker never misses.
Well, I mean, I think we all love Mr. Family Feud himself.
Oh God, Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Harvey is just a staple, a comedy staple at this point, and not even for his actual comedy, like literally just for like he could have done nothing before he was on Family Feud and he would still be like prolific.
I like him specifically when the episode begins and then before the first commercial break and then after the first commercial break, pretty much only when the cameras are rolling, because I heard he like proselytizes to the fucking crowd when like they're during commercial breaks, which is awful. But as the host, he does fucking crack me up.
He's also not one to like pull any punches too. If he thinks somebody's being fucking stupid, dude, he'll tear them apart.
I was always a fan of Drew Carey.
I like Drew Carey.
Drew Carey is a pretty good fucking host on Whose Line.
I think Drew Carey also he's one of those guys who was always just around. He had his show when I was a kid. It was a little too advanced for me. You know, I was still in SpongeBob mode when he was going. But I really appreciate him now, but also he's got the beard going on now. He's got kind of like thick daddy energy. Women online like him.
I didn't know that.
Women are kind of
peek in and see what Drew's up to.
Women are a little kind of into Drew Carey.
Okay.
He came up
had the glow up.
Yeah, seriously. Also, I mean, just another a lesser known game show, but one we just talked about. So like I forget his name, but the guy who hosts actually on the Dropout Network. Mm-hmm. Actually, he doesn't host it anymore. He's like stepped back and he's more just like on a producer level. Now the host is Ife Nwadiwe, which he's also great.
He's very funny
also
too.
Very funny. But
Summer Sanders is up there too.
The original guy was very fun. Who's Summer Sanders?
She hosted a bunch of the Nickelodeon ones.
Oh, who's the guy who did Double Dare?
Oh, the dude who's like a total fucking germaphobe.
Yeah. On the show where people had to literally crawl out of a nose covered in boogers. What was that other? Do you remember Wild and Crazy Kids?
No.
That was another. It was sort of in between. It was one of those daytime Nickelodeon game shows. It was like in between Double Dare and whatever. What was the one with the aggro crag? Guts.
Global Guts.
And Legends of the Hidden. So you had Legends of the Hidden Temple, Guts, Double Dare, Figure It Out. And then there was Wild and Crazy Kids, which I think was like one of the older ones. And it was essentially just like, remember Field Day when you were a kid?
Yeah.
And it was like 100 kids just playing like 50 games. It was basically like that. It was like almost like a found footage game show. It felt like it was just chaos, like a million kids, one host just being like mauled by them, like in that Cooties movie. I really liked Figure It Out because that show was like it was all about just the hosts would have to, you had like 4 hosts and they were guessing what a kid's talent was or something special about them.
Yeah.
But it was like so much of the time, every once in a while you'd get a real talent, but most of the time it was the most inane nonsense, like nothing, where they were like, I have a hamster.
Why
would anybody guess that?
I drove a riding mower across 4 states.
That's like something at least. But some of the talents were like, I clipped my toenails really short. Why? And they'd always get like hints based on the thing. So they'd get like showered in like toenails. And you're like, ew, gross. But Danny Tamborelli was on it. And he always, fucking
killing it. Him,
killing it.
Lori
So
Beth Dimberg. I hope I can compete at half the level.
to be a Lori Beth. But yeah, so do we wanna get going?
Yeah, let's fucking crack into this.
Let's do some trivia. All right, so the first segment we're gonna do,
Okay.
I think we're gonna start with a visual one. It's gonna be visual, but not like it'll be fine for the podcast. People will understand.
Okay.
So what we have going on here, this segment is called
Order of the Occult.
Ooh, Order of the Occult. Very interesting.
So what I have here is images of all of the posters for all of the Halloween movies. So what I need you to do is put them in the correct order. I've scratched out some of the numbers on some of the movies because they're labeled, and that would make it too easy for you. So what we're looking at here, so we have for the listeners, we have Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween Kills, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Halloween Ends, Halloween H2O, Halloween 2, Halloween The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween, Halloween, Halloween The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Okay.
So I have arranged it randomly arranged in order the all of the Halloween movies.
Okay, and I need to put them in the correct order.
Yes.
Interesting.
Spooky Wife, producer, has given Eric the whiteboard.
Okay.
All right, so walk me through your thought process here for the listeners.
So
some of these are going to be gimmies, right?
Yes, some of these are gimmies because they still have the numbers on them.
I couldn't get. You know what? I couldn't get rid of all of them.
Okay, so I know obviously we have our OG Halloween, the one with the pumpkin and the knife. That'll be first.
Yep, that's. I'll go ahead and I'll tell you right now. Correct,
right? Okay. So then it's definitely Halloween 2, the other that one over there with the skeleton on the pumpkin. Yeah.
Yep, totally.
Then we're going with Halloween 3, the one that's not about Michael Myers.
What? Halloween 3 comes after Halloween 2?
Believe it or not, I believe the numerical order
stands.
serves
You think it stands?
Now, this is where we're gonna run into our
your first hurdle.
What's the bottom left one over there?
This is Halloween, the return of Michael Myers.
Okay, and then what's the one with the boy and the knife over here?
This is the revenge of Michael Myers.
Revenge. Okay, so I'm gonna go with returns, then revenge, and then that blue one over there.
This is the curse of Michael Myers.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the one that they do in the haunted house style, right?
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you necessarily mostly because I don't remember what happens in the individual Halloween movies after.
So then
3.
I'm gonna say H2O.
Okay.
That makes the most sense to me, and that's like I would say the original run on Sir Myers in the Halloween style.
Mr. Myers himself.
And then
the rest. Now that
is easy, we're gonna go with the first. That bottom one. That's the first Rob one. Then the second Rob one. Halloween 2 again.
Yeah, Halloween a second time.
Then it's that one, the 2018. Kills and Ends.
Okay.
Now, before I lock in, let me just look at these because I know there's a point where Mike gets progressively uglier mask-wise.
That's true. The mask does start to become like almost like they put no effort into like putting any like grit or texture or edge to it. They were like, no, just hot off the press, just a gross, stark white mask.
The 4, 5. I'm pretty sure the 6th one is the correct one. The curse. Now the 4 and 5 though are going to be the ones that are my only real guesses.
It's so well. You have to think like, did he get his revenge before he returned, or did he return then get his revenge? You know, that's really the thought process here. And also, you know what? At a certain point, I think it's time to move on. Like you could just go to a new place, Michael.
Yeah, Mike, you could pick a new town, new chick.
Yeah, new town, new girl. Just I'd like to see just a movie about a slasher killer, like just like sort of a slice of life, like just trying to set up like
slice of life.
We could just call it slice of life, where like a Michael Myers or Jason type, he moves to a new place and he's like, listen, I got to find a new final girl, a new group of kids.
TM.
Yeah, you can't. If I swear to God, if 5 years from now a movie comes out that has this idea, I'm suing. I will litigate intensely.
I'm gonna switch the ones I have in for 4 and 5, just because I feel like
you want to switch Return and Revenge.
I'm gonna go with my gut. My first answer out the gate. I'm gonna go with that.
You're gonna leave the order as it is.
The order as is, and lock that in.
All right, locked in. So what we have, the correct order is Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3. You're doing very well so far.
Okay.
Return, Revenge, Curse, H2O.
Let's fucking go.
Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 2018, Kills, and Halloween Ends.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
All right, that's going to be 2 whopping points.
2 points for me. I'm going to put that on my whiteboard.
Eric. 2 points for Eric.
Hell yeah. I was really, the Revenge and Return. Being they're both ours.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a tough one, but I feel like I remember Revenge being like farther along. So that was my driving force as far as locking that in.
I figured I'd start with this one because I felt like I was pretty confident you'd be able to do this one.
Okay.
I thought most of them were pretty much gimmies. And it's mostly the middle ones, the which also happen to be the middling movies that you'd get tripped up on. But you know what? I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I had faith the whole time.
I will say, without the visual aid of the masks, I may not have got it. But
that's why I felt like you needed the covers or the posters to,
Nice. Is there another franchise?
Yes, but we're actually going to come back to it. We're gonna kind of sort of like intersplice.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this next segment, this is
Tagline Terror.
Huge.
All right. So the idea for this segment is I'm going to give you a tagline for a horror movie.
Okay.
You have to guess what the horror movie is. If I will give you one tagline to start.
Mm-hmm.
I've picked movies for this go around. I've picked movies that have multiple taglines, or at least
more than one.
Don't cut my head off, everybody. This is according to there's a tagline section on IMDb.
Oh, okay.
So whether or not these are like fully official, I think sometimes movies get like secondary or tertiary taglines because of like DVD or Blu-ray box release. You know, some of these may not be like from the initial theatrical like tagline, but I think most of them are. I tried my best to not like find like really weird ones, but so if somebody out there is like, oh, that was never a tagline for that movie, well then blame IMDb. Don't blame me.
And email us because we'd like your email.
Well, that too, though. That would be cool. Tweet at us, All right, so I'm going to start off. You have each of these. In theory, you could get 3 points
for each
per question.
Oh, we got big points up.
You lose a point for each additional tagline I have to give you. So there's a total of 3 taglines each. So you can, if you get it right out of the gate, that's 3 points. If you need the second tagline, that's 2 points. And if you need the third tagline and then you get it, you get 1 point.
Okay.
If you don't get it, no points.
No
buddy.
points. 0 points. Devoid of points.
Are you ready for the first tagline?
Hit me.
So for movie number 1. The very first tagline, and I have all of the years written down, but I'm going to start out without giving it to you. If you need the year,
okay,
I'll allow it. So this is the first tagline for the first movie. It really happened. It's terrifying. it's here.
Interesting. It really happened.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
It's here.
It's here.
I will, you know what? I'll go right away. I will say this one was a video like release tagline.
It really happened. It's terrifying. It's here.
Mm-hmm. Does this evoke anything to you?
It does, but I think I will opt for my second tagline because I think that one
Would you like the year first?
Yeah, let me go with the year. Will that deduct a point for the year?
I think, you know what? Maybe I'll just give you the year if you ask for it. I'll give you the year without any
bonus
points.
Point if I don't take the year.
Okay.
Negotiable game show. I like this.
Game show host. It's a work in progress. All right, so the year was 1974.
74. Okay.
So that should narrow it down. I mean, obviously considerably, but still tough. It's hard for me as a guy who can't remember dates for shit. Honestly, this wouldn't help me at all. So
if I guess wrong, do we move on to the third one, the third tagline, or do we just that'll be a loss?
No, you can just guess. I think like if you're guessing like rapid fire or like if it seems like too much, I'll be like, all right, I'll give you the second one. You know, we're gonna play it by ear.
Okay,
loosey goosey game show.
My first guess then is going to be Amityville Horror.
Incorrect.
Fuck. 74.
Would you like the second tagline?
Let me think.
Okay.
The first one was
brainstorm it out with me. What are you thinking?
Here was the last part, right? It's real. It happened. It's real.
It really happened. It's terrifying. It's here.
It really happened. It's terrifying.
The really happened part is
the really happened part is fucking bizarre.
You know what? I'll give you a little hint. It didn't really happen, but the movie.
Okay.
But the movie would really like you to think it did.
Was it Poltergeist?
It was not. Poltergeist was not 74.
Fuck. 74 is a tough one.
It is. Would you like the second?
Let me get the second tagline.
I don't know how much this one's gonna help, but because it's honestly now I'm starting to see a little bit of a flaw in my picks here. It says the second tagline is "Can you survive? It happened." They're really. I will say I looked at the poster where this tagline was from because I read the tagline and I'm like, what does that mean? Can you survive? It happened. Makes no sense. But I will say in the layout of the poster, it says, "Can you survive?" And then there's the crux of the poster, and then in the bottom corner it says, "It happened." So it's sort of like a split.
Okay, so my thought is, what movies did they try and convince people were real?
Yeah, and think of you can give me. I
would say
to a degree I'll answer some yes or no questions.
The next one that popped into my head only because we talked about it recently is the McPherson tapes, but that one came out I think in the early 80s.
It was the early 80s actually. I had to look that up recently.
Okay, so that one's out of there.
And I will say the tagline that I picked for the third for almost all of them is like the main one, and for most of them I feel like they're pretty much gimmies. I mean, this one in particular, you will know when you'll honestly probably like toss yourself out the window.
It's terrifying.
It happened.
It happened.
It's can you survive? It happened. It's tough, I know, right? With no like with just like the breadth of movies that we've seen to like think of one, and you're like, well, kind of like so many of them fit this.
74.
It just goes to show you how like poorly taglines are written most of the time.
My thought process now is essentially trying to eliminate things that came out after 74. So that makes it a little bit harder to narrow down because the 70s movies were fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. They're all over the place.
I think give me one more guess, and then I'll give you the third tagline.
My next immediate thought went to The Thing, but that came out in the 80s too. That wasn't a 70s joint. Yeah.
Think about like 70s horror movies.
I'm thinking about The Omen, but I feel like The Omen had like way more Damien specific.
And is it a movie where you would think like survival is you know a key aspect of it?
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking it's got to be like some kind of monster situation.
It could be. It could not be.
It It's happened. It's here.
I can't believe. I think you are gonna go nuts when you hear this third tagline.
I think unfortunately I gotta go for the third tagline, Matt.
And if you don't know this tagline, then the episode's canceled.
Oh,
so
no. Okay.
The third tagline is, "Who will survive and what will be left of them?"
Who will survive and what will be left of them?
Am I gonna have to cancel the show right here?
Who will survive? What will be left of them?
We're gonna have to edit this out so you're not embarrassed about your about this on. We gonna forfeit the first guess or the first
Trying
question?
not to. Let me think. The pressure's